So yeah, Q3 report. Um, I'm just gonna go for it and just see how we get on. Just going through dates here. Should all be on here still. The risk to reward tool's not on this one, but it doesn't matter. Um, I mean, obviously, this is the 1st of July. Um, Finished the last quarter with 6.8% and then just starting a fresh year was a loss. I think it was on like the half risk or was we on low risk? Did have slightly less risk just going into this just because the account was down a little bit. I was risking just slightly less than 0.5%, like 0.4, I think. So yeah, standard losing trade. Um, and I was still going for just one to twos with this, and I was having the box on like a lot wider. Um, Let me just exit the screen and just escape. I'm finding better into. Yeah, I was like, see, look, that's like 90 pips that box. I was yeah, the ranges were a lot wider, and yeah, I was just going for yeah, like bigger moves just because the ranges were wider. Um, it's the 2nd of July. That was a losing trade as well. 3rd of July. Again, lower risk on this one. Um, yeah, this is when I was just trying to get scalping. I was doing some scalping. Um, so I did get a win on this one. And then I did a little scalp trade to go with it. I think the profits are there. There's some profits there. But yeah, just the more going back through this, obviously, I'm just gonna, some of the things are just a bit all over the shop. 4th of July, shouldn't have took this fucking trade because I I wasn't even plugged in. I didn't even realize it was 4th of July. I just so plugged in with, I remember just like focusing on, I don't know what I was focusing on, but I shouldn't have traded that day. I was just plugged in with just a wake up, take a trade, wake up, take a trade. 4th of July, note to self, pointless trading on that. It just fucked around all day. Obviously, after taking the call with Marco, I realised it was the 4th of July. I was already in the trade, so I just left it. Um, so, um, yeah, another one there, 5th of July, entry, same, the box. See, look, I could have had this wider like this, and then brought the box in like I have been doing, like this. This is the strategy. Now, bringing the box in inside the box, and bringing this down. Obviously, 1 to 1. Don't think we would have caught that one anyway. But that's what I've been doing now. Like, obviously, I've just worked out, back testing through that 1 to 1.5 is just it's more profitable. I've back tested and back tested like 6 months worth of data. Um, but these here, this is a big move. Uh, I just again, this was just a 1 to 2 back to full risk now. So that was like 1%, just on one account, obviously 200K account, and I took that to like that. So, but this box, the entry system is the same. It's the same system. Obviously, there's some days that are just forget it. Do you know what I mean? The price action is just all over the place. But it's the same thing. 5:30, something happens, break. this break can be there. Let's just pop that off in the trash. Can I flip that off? Yeah, just to make it a bit clearer. Look, like there's the break candle. Like I've done myself just keep looking and trying to work out what this is that I've discovered, and it literally is that candle there. Just a break of the low, and it is kind of a trend following strategy. You know, like obviously all the top guys talk about trend following, and this is trend following on a smaller time frame. Obviously, the trends from there, from the day before, you know, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, or there, lower low is that break candle, and then a lower high, lower low. But like it's simple stuff, and I think all this box and the time is doing is giving me a specific sort of window into the trading day to give me something to work with because obviously you can fucking trade anytime. I can fucking trade here. I can fucking wake up at 1 in the morning and trade there, which I don't want to do. But this is a sweet spot. I've traded it around this time because it's pre-London. It makes sense. I live in the UK. Wake up at 5:30 and then just go about my day. So that's what I want to do. That's how I want to trade, and it works. But I have to take every trade. I have to take every trade. Like this one here could have been tighter. Could have had a tighter stop. Let's just see. This was a losing trade, but look, I'm having look at the fucking stop on this. Like like 120 points. I'm just going for these wider stops. I don't necessarily need to have these wide stops. So right, let's bring that in. Oh, sorry. So let's just measure into this box here. It's got 80 pips. I could have potentially took that from there like that, brought that up there like that, and then bring that down. That's still a losing trade. Um, but this is a nice textbook one. Obviously, 62-point stop, and that's a 2.5. But I'm just going for a 1 to 1.5. Is what I'm doing is giving myself highest probability wins. Like this is the system. This is the system. Like break, break. That's the break. And then there's a move. And then there's a move. Sometimes it's a big move. Sometimes it's a little move. But what I've worked out is, you know, if it's a one-to-one, don't really want to be getting to one-to-ones. Otherwise, when you get through them, like 50 to 100 trades, you just end up kind of like break even. If the win rate's 50% and you just go for one-to-ones, you're not going to make any money. So 1 to 1.5, if it's slightly higher than a 50% win rate, it's decent money. It's decent money. Decent profits. So yeah, obviously these ones quite easy to get the box onto now. Just a low and a high before 5:30, that's the strap. Low and a high before 5:30, that's the box. Break candle, get the rest of your tool on, set it up, go back to sleep. Another one, obviously this has gone into some news there. Would have been some news because yeah, 1:30, that's some news. And yeah, that was a win. Profits there, look, 1 to 2 profits. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time going through these. I just what's possible. Um, yeah, and I think did feel like closing out 1 to 1.5. Lots going through in my head. Like this, because I was going for a slightly big. What am I doing here? 100 points. So yeah, this I had a 100-point stop on this. 100 point stop there. So it's a 1 to 1.5 there. And obviously, I'm going for 1 to 2, so that's just ended up turning into a loss at the end of the day. Look. So just, didn't need to have the stops out there. Stops weren't to be there. Could have even got a 1 to 2 out there, but 1 to 1.5. That's where we should have been, like that. And I've just gone back through and gone back through so many times, and I've worked out that just be as tight as I can with the boxes. Like obviously that's just you're not gonna catch on that one. That's just a losing trade. Obviously this one here, well, didn't quite catch the box. Yeah, so yeah, that's just a losing trade. Not going to catch them ones. Not going to like dry wide out there. So obviously there's the brake cannon and it's just reversed and then carried on. So we just need to forget about them ones. Well, not forget about them, but just just part of it, and we're going to catch those ones. Like this is a lovely example of what I'm looking for. High and a low before 5:30. Little brake candle there again, hiding behind this mixture of wood. So let's turn that off. So yeah, brake candle. This says retested here now, but what I've worked out is what's the fucking long divisions? Long position. What I've worked out is putting the box, putting the putting the stops just inside the box like that. So when I'm awake at like 5:30, what I'm doing is I'll set up my position for the size of this range. So the points will be whatever the lot size is. Obviously, I'm risking whatever I'm risking. I'm risking 0.6% in a minute. So the box is 52 pips. So my position size will allow for 0.6% risk at 52 pips. So I'm ready, got the bullet in the gun, and I'm just sitting, waiting. And then when just, when this happens, I'm like bang in there with my position that's set at a 52 pip stop. But obviously, I have to go back in manually um, and put the stops and I take profits in after. I've been feeling a little bit anxious recently about this because obviously on 3 accounts, it takes me a few minutes to put the stops in. Um, Obviously, I've got to be very unlucky to just something crazy just happen within those few minutes, especially at that time in the morning. But it could happen. So I am getting the stop sizes in as fast as possible. Yeah. But yeah, so just literally break there, put the stop on, and put take profit on, and yeah, obviously that was a 1 to 2 when on the 16th of July. 16th of July. When did things start to go a bit tits up somewhere? I think July was a good month. Followed the plan pretty well. Obviously, wins, losses. Um, I think July was, I think, about 2% or something profits, something like that. And then August, I don't know what happened. I just remember. Let's have a look. Have a look what happened in August. July. It's a loss. There we go. I think I had some really good profits towards the end of July, like 4 or 5%, and then I had loads of losses at the end. Gave a load back, and it just pissed me off. I think what happened is I went back. I went into, yeah, see, look, loss, profit, and there's a win there. Start to pick it back up again. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Here, look. See. My worst performance in recent times. Totally fumbled this one. Closing out after the news before I got so I had a few losses. There was some news going on. We was in profit, almost hit TP. Look there. So that's 1 to 2. Yeah. So we're up here and then down here. News almost takes me out. Comes back to break even, and I decided to just, I don't know, I decided to go back in. Decided to go back in. It was down here somewhere. So obviously the 120 points down. Whatever it was something like this. But yeah, that was it. Like that. It was like this. And I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. I just got fucking pissed off. I didn't want to take my loss. So I decided to come out break even which is not part of the plan. And then went back in, closed it again, and ended up with just taking a little loss out. Even if I just left it, look, would have been a win. So, and then again, the next day, did something different. This is where I decided to add. I decided to add to this one, and I remember this day very clearly. Obviously, we got some profits on it, but I added to this position here. And I was so out of it, I didn't even realize that the Fed rates was coming out, which is fucking stupid. Like, why didn't I know that? And I had the position on, even into the rates. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, what was that? And then I realized, shit, this could have been so much fucking worse. Well, it wouldn't have been worse. It would have just stopped me out because I did have stops on. Um, but if I'd have just left this, what did I have on here? I had 0.8 lots and I added one lot. So I had two lots on. And it would have been a screamer. Because that's why I took the stops off and I was just going to leave it. And I just went crazy. And then ended up I made some small profits, but, and yeah, just the plan just went out the window. And then I lost the next day. So I just gave that profit back. And I think it's just the focus on like P&L was just so annoying. Yeah, this was it. I went cycling this day and I was just too tired when I woke up in the morning. Missed this one, which was a winner. Would have been a winner. Same again here. Didn't take this trade, which was also a winner. So things look very different when like a few like fumbled trades, like all those few fumbled trades there, 3 or 4 trades is like 3-4%, which is annoying because I'll finish the quarter with 4.8%. Which it's obviously still managed. It's still got some profits, but then obviously this one here, look, this here, that would have been a win if it was a 1 to 1.5. And yeah, I've just worked out. Obviously, that'll just be a loss. I'm not going to catch that. This one, caught this one. So now this is when I've started the new account. Start the 2 new accounts. So I've got the FTMO 200K and I've got the 500K IC account. So what's this one? That's because it's on the laptop. It's moving these boxes over. Can't see where I've journaled that one, but 0.5% risk on all the accounts. 1 to 1.5. And started using the 1 to 1.5. Or I think it was on. No, I think I was on the 1 to 1 to 2 still. I reckon I cut that one short. Loss on that one. Another winning trade there. Yeah, there you go. So I cut that last one short. These are 1 to 2s. So what I'm taking from this and seeing from this is that I have to take all the trades. I don't have to necessarily do loads of things wrong. It's little things like them few little fumbles there. Like the losing trades, you're never going to catch them. Or even if you make a mistake, the stops are too tight or whatever, or didn't quite have the box position properly. The strategy allows for that, but what it doesn't allow for is not taking trades. You have to take the trades because you don't know whether they're going to be wins or losses. You just do your best, but if you, like, it's weird. because a lot of the ones that I didn't take, or even pretty much all of the trades that I didn't take, were winning trades. So, and just is what it is. I think it's just a lesson for me. That's a nice winning trade there. Again, this is a fumble as well. Fumbled this one as well. Yeah, fucked about with this one. That's why this is just that break even on the other accounts. I decided to fucking fuck about, and whatever I did, I just went back in and closed them, just fucking around, and missed out on some profits on that one again. Pulled it back on this one. So I'm just like make a mistake, pull it back on the next one, make another mistake. That's been the kind of theme through August. That was a win. Standard loss. Just another standard loss. This was a win. This looks very similar to today's trade. Very similar. See, the patterns look the same. There's so many. Like that is very, very similar to today's trade. The pattern looks very, very similar. So that was a winning trade. That's just 1-1. That was a loss. Yeah, on all three accounts now, which just let's be honest, done quite well with it. And minus like it's difficult trading big amounts of money. It did mess with me a little bit at first, and then I just dialed in and got used to it. What did I do here? Fuck this one up again. So fuck this one up again. This was a real big fuck up, even though I didn't. So I was picking my little niece up and we was fucking around here. So I decided to move to break even. Just life gets in the way sometimes, and that's how it's going to be. So if that's got to be a break even, it's got to be a break even. So even though I should have just left it, so get stopped out, get stopped out. I should have just left that. I was just so caught up with having to take a loss. Didn't want to take a loss again. It's like it's that. I think that's been the theme throughout my journey, and I know it is for a lot of people. Is not being able to take a loss. Um, but yeah, I jumped back when I'd finished dropping her off. It was still fucking around here. Decided to go back in, and I had no stops at some point. It was like fucking crazy. That was probably the worst mistake of the quarter. So I just feel like I'm making the mistakes, so I don't have to make them again. Like so. Yeah, decide. Yeah, that weekend after that, I decided I want to get bigger wins. So this is 26th of August. Yeah, I decided I back tested just letting them run into the open. And it was really profitable for the actual trades that I back tested. Excuse me, I'm just going to go and get some sweet throat. Well, so yeah, I thought, you know what, this is it. I can just wake up in the morning, take the trade, put the stops in, leave the take profit off, and just let them run. And it was just like, I don't know, like 20% over like 60 or 70 trades. And I thought, yeah, okay, great. So I went into the week doing it. And yeah, it was just, it was like this one here, they're all like this, like 1 to 2s, and then come back down to stop me out. 1 to 2, stop me out, 1 to 2, stop me out. So instead of making the profits at a 1 to 2, because I was waiting for them bigger runs, yeah, no profits in fucking losses. So yeah, this month and big lesson is like there, look, I didn't catch any of that. I let it turn into a loss. I think break even. I think I break even it. Like this one. Um, this was just small profits at the end of the day because I was going for a bigger run, let it run, let it run. That was like so there was like so much money, and all of a sudden it just turned into nothing. And by the end of the week, I was just fucking drained. And I thought I do not want to take. Right here, like Friday, that would have been a 1 to 1.5. The way I'm trading right now, it turned into a loss. So as we can see, going back through all this, it's like there's some really rocky shit going on, really rocky shit, but still made money. Like on all the accounts, monetary value is about 30 grand. So if I can trade like this and still make 30 grand in like 3 months, like imagine what I can do when I'm fucking on form, which I am now. The last 2 weeks, been on fire, not making any mistakes. Still feel the same, you know, and then you look at the losses, oh, could I have got that? Could have that been a win? And no, let it go. If it's a loss, it's a loss. So take it on the fucking chin. If it's a win, don't get too carried away with it. You know, just go with it. Obviously, I'm happier on the days that these wins. So, still want to. What am I fucking doing now? This and this again. Look, this this was the biggest fuck up of the whole thing. That is a loss there. Look, 6,500 on my FTMO second phase. Fuming about it. So what I did was just a standard loss. I thought. Woke up in the morning, no, stopped me out. Looked on the iPad. Looked on my one of my phones. Stopped out. So no, didn't look on the iPad. Looked on both my phones. Stopped out. Um, and this one that should have been the same loss as that one. I was out all day. And I fucking come back at night time. Yeah, look there. Like, yeah, it's fucking there. Look. 8:30 at night. I didn't close this till 8:30 at night. It was that look. So on that account, it's like a 3% loss. So in that account for the quarter was pretty much break even. They have all my profits back on that one, but the other two accounts are still making money. So if I can trade like this, like that, loads of real rocky shit, still make money. So that's what I'm taking from this now. But going back through it, it's the first time I've gone back through it and analysed what's gone on. And from me just observing on the outside, like I've left so much money on the table, like so much, so fucking much. Like, so I've made there was about back testing it. I'm not going to go through that now, so I have done it. Back testing it for this quarter, I reckon there was somewhere like 15% on the table, and I've only took 5% out of it. So there's another 10% on the table, like 5% of them. I think it's potentially more than that. Obviously, each quarter is going to be different, but it's very similar. Like, look, these setups, they look the fucking same. There's about 5 or 6 different variations of the trade. Like tight range, real tight range. This is I would say this is a medium sized range. Like 50, 60 pips. And it breaks, retests, goes, or it'll break, little retest and just go, or it'll just go fast, hit you take profits, or it'll almost stop you out and then fucking go. Like loads different. There's a few different variations of it, but I'm not really worried about after this. That's all I'm looking for. This, and then, but here, look, yeah, this is something to note down. The FTMO accounts seem to have um, a little bit wider spreads on them. Because look here, the IC account it hit take profit. Two FTMO accounts stopped me out there, and there was exactly the same stops, exactly the same entries. It stopped me out, but is what it is. And this shit's gonna happen. Like this shit's gonna fucking happen, and it's it's very refreshing and like encouraging and motivating for me to go back and see so much mess because obviously there's mess in the markets that you can't control, but then there's mess in the markets that you can control, like shit, like that thing there with this with the old FDMO thing. Can't control that. I cannot control what happened here. Could have could have had a slightly tighter wider stop, but I don't know that, so I can't control it. So I just did what I did. You know, that's perfect setup really for obviously hit TP on the 500k. Perfect setup. But got stopped out of Liverpool cards, which can't control that. But I can't control this. This was just, almost. I didn't have the fucking stops up there, but it was somewhere down here, I guess. 47. Yeah, so right there. And then TP was like there. So I lost. Can't control that. Same again, can't control that. Same again, can't control that. Win, win. Can control that. No, I can't control that. All I can do is control this before where the box goes, where I place my entry, where I place my stop, where I place my take profit. And yeah, you can fucking get disheartened about this, like fuck, oh, look at all this fucking money, like 1 to 6, 1 to 7. Yeah, but when are these happening? Not very fucking often. Not very often, and especially with these accounts, you need to take some of these small ones because if I don't, it's like loss, waiting for these, and then all of a sudden you're a massive drawdown. You feel like shit, potentially going to blow the account for what? To wait for this to have one day of like, oh, let's fucking go. No, it's not for me. It's not for me, and especially not on these funded accounts. So what I've worked out is, 1 to 1.5. You get steady small wins all the time. Stops you from being in so much drawdown. You feel better. But here, there's another big one there, but they are few and far between. But this strategy is potentially, well, it is more profitable waiting for these big runners, but I'm not prepared to do it because you have to put up with a lot of losses. So yeah, that was a win. This was a win. So these last few weeks have been trading really well. 1 to 1.5. It's a standard loss. When I did close early, I shouldn't have really done that, but my intuition was right because look at that. It was going to reverse. I was looking at the price action and thinking this is feeling like it's going to reverse, and it did. It obviously did hit my take profit, but it did reverse straight after. So I do look at my intuition sometimes, I think. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. But that's why I've got strict plans and rules in place so I don't have to use my intuition. Missed this one. These are annoying because it only needed to get to there. This is what separates the men from the boys, being able to deal with this. Literally, it's like a few pips away from take profit. Bang, stop me out. Lost. That was annoying. That was like the other day. And then again the next day. Another one the next day. Almost a bit. But you could say, oh, move to break even, whatever, but then you end up just getting stopped at break even. You just got to take a loss there. It's annoying, but you're just gonna have to take the loss. That's what worked out. Take the fucking loss, move on. So then we're gonna get these. Let's go win. That's today's win, and that's it. today's win. And yesterday was a win as well. So fuck the losers. You're gonna get some wins. Let's move on. I'm gonna wrap things up because my fucking throat's fucked. So yeah, as we can see from this, traded terribly. There was moments of greatness, moments of absolute fucking dog shit. But what worked out is don't keep swapping and changing things, even if it is the take profit. You need to just stick to a strict mechanical system with this system anyway, with like how I'm thinking and how I want this to be. Obviously, other people have their own methods and strategies, but this needs to be win, loss, no break evens, no fucking around with take profits, no none of that shit. It's either a win or a loss, and you just fucking go with the flow. Don't keep swapping up and changing shit, and obviously learn from mistakes. Like make sure I check whether stops have triggered and things like that. Because, but yeah, it's all been like a quarter of learning. So where we're at is we had 4.8% on the 500k, 2% on the 200k first phase, and then we were 0.2% down on the second phase FTMO. So I'm excited to go into the next quarter. I'm gonna get all of these accounts passed by Christmas, I would say. Just trading this way. And yeah, just feel constantly improving all the time. There's constant improvement all the time, and it's getting easier. Everything's getting easier. Like it's easier to take a loss. It's easier to deal with the figures and everything, and I'm enjoying it as well. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna do some written stuff as well. But yeah, peace out.